welcome to the stage Executive Director, Cloud Native Computing Foundation, Priyanka Sharma.
Cloud Native Con North America. Woohoo! Oh, hi, Fippy. Hey, you're so adorable. Want to do a hug? Let's do a hug. Oh, Fippy. This is so cute. Oh, wait, you want me to look at the phone? Oh, all right. Oh, okay, yes, we have Instagram now. We're officially cool. Oh, okay, you want me to take a selfie with everyone? Okay. Well, folks, we got to do what Fippy tells us, so let's do this. Let's take a selfie. Everyone say Cloud Native. Yay! All right, I have successfully posted what I think is a story. Thank you, Fippy. You're the best. So, folks, you can follow us on Instagram now. Tag, post stories, whatever people do on Insta. Effectively, we can tell our kids now we are cool too. So, folks, that was fun. Fippy's awesome. These little moments of joy where we can make each other laugh, smile, they're so important. Especially given that the last 3 years have been a roller coaster for the whole world, and our mutual support of each other has meant a lot. In my humble opinion, the challenges that everyone has faced, cloud natives, both the humans and the technology, have shown incredible resilience. And that resilience has reflected in our numbers, which keep climbing up. If you think about it, today we are 176,362 contributors worldwide. It's a lot of people. We have 835 plus members in the CNCF, 172 of which are end users in the audience, which are folks who are not selling products or services on Cloud Native, but they're using it to build their technology stack. And the diversity of the folks who are in this end user crew just keeps growing. More and more different kinds of people are utilizing Cloud Native now. It was evident even with the latest gold member to join CNCF, Oppo, which is a major Chinese consumer electronics provider, and they make really cool smartphones, and they've just come and joined us. So that's really awesome. These soaring numbers, what are they telling us? Well, our resilience through what has been really a trying time for the world is translating into economic impact. In fact, recent history tells us that in times of financial turmoil, open source usage soars. Our friends over at Gartner are telling us that CFOs are doubling down on digital transformation, and they're increasing IT funding in 2022. And this is despite the economic conditions. By the way, this report came out Q3 of this year, so well into the challenges that we're all seeing now. Gartner is also telling us that they predict cloud-native platforms will serve as the foundation of more than 95% of new digital initiatives. This is up from less than 40% in 2021. Talk about growth. And we're seeing it everywhere. Even our telco partners, they're folks who are now cloud-native network function certified, and that number keeps growing. And again, cloud-native keeps proliferating. So that's wonderful, right? Well, at least it means that you're at the right conference. But who is carrying the load of this increased interest? Is it me? Is it Fippy? No, it's the maintainers of our projects. The folks who build our technologies and maintain them. These people are 1 in a million, and they shape the past, present, and future of Cloud Native. How many folks here know what a maintainer is? Raise your hand. All right, a good number, just to refresh ourselves. The reason I ask this is because there's a lot of meanings of the word maintainer in the cloud-native community. If you look at definitions, ultimately, it's somebody who's recognized in a core role in our projects, and they could be maintaining anything from code, documentation, policy, but ultimately, one key thing sets them apart from other contributors. Maintainers are making decisions. They are deciding the future of the project. We have 1,000 plus such folks. These are some of their lovely faces. We could only get 400 onto the screen, unfortunately. But we have over 1,000 plus maintainers. And that feels pretty good, right? Thousands of folks are maintaining cloud native. But just a second. These people are making decisions that impact the work of the 175,000 plus contributors I just talked about. Suddenly the ratio is interesting. And then these folks are catering to 7 million plus developers worldwide. So if you really think about it, it's 1,000 people supporting millions. Maintainers are holding up the cloud-native ecosystem. I was speaking with Taylor Dolezal, who runs our end-user ecosystem program. And he shared with me that when he was Kubernetes release lead, which is a role just as heavy as being a maintainer, though it's time-boxed, it was at least 25 hours of work per week leading up to release day. That is a lot of hours. And then release day itself was 14 hours. And remember, these people have full-time jobs too. So at any given time, Kubernetes has about 30-odd people on the release team. These are the beautiful faces of the people on the 1.26 release. And they come together, and Kubernetes releases 3 times a year. So if you think about it, in the Kubernetes ecosystem, there are trillion-dollar companies, right? Making billion-dollar projects, profits. And these folks are carrying them. Let's pause and let that sink in for a second. 30 people, hundreds of hours of volunteer labor, and billions of dollars of profits. These people deserve the world. Let's give them a huge round of applause, because that's the least we can do. The maintainer's job is critical, now more than ever. They are the lifeblood of our ecosystem. What can we learn from them? How can we support them better? Well, let's just ask. I am thrilled to invite on stage today 2 amazing maintainers to learn from. Please welcome Yuan Tang, maintainer of Argo and founding engineer of Acuity, and Heba Elayuti, bug triage lead for Kubernetes release 1.25, multiple SIG contributor, and main maintainer of Virtual Kubelet, and also software engineer at Microsoft.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Heba. Hi. Please, have a seat.
Thank you for having it.
Thank you for joining us. Since this is a fireside chat, let's have a fire. So let's jump right in, folks. Tell me, Heba and Yuan, what are some of the biggest challenges you maintainers face?
So I can go first. Basically, in my experience, one of the biggest challenges is getting enough support from your employer. The real world must influence real cases, real use cases, and real problems from the customers.
Yeah.
So as maintainers and contributors, we can work together to prioritize these features. This is like, we need to help each other here. The second challenge from my perspective, and it was a huge challenge for me, is how to get started. We know lots of people out there, they wanted to start help, they wanted to start contribute, but this is our responsibility to have them, to make their journey as easy as possible so they can just start it.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, to Heba's point, nurturing and mentoring of contributors and really growing them into maintainers are critical. We have to attract more contributors. And the lack of mentoring can be a real barrier to entry for many new contributors. Fortunately, there are many programs out there to help people get started easily, like Google Summer of Code. And at Argo, we host regular contributors meetings to meet with the maintainers to discuss any technical issues and roadmap. New contributors can also submit mentoring requests so that they can get dedicated guidance from the maintainers to help with any issues they are interested in working on. And Acuity recently also announced the Peer Appreciation Award for Argo to regularly award highly active open source contributors that have helped shape the project. We should see more events and programs like that happening across the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, Jan's example of mentoring is so important. I would love if more companies can do that. And I'm so lucky that in my organization in Microsoft, the Cloud Native, we are trying to prioritize open source tasks in all the interns' programs. And we have an amazing and huge team just to support the Kubernetes upstream.
Sweet.
Yep.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, this is so great. I ask y'all your challenges. You share them with me, but you also give me the solutions. So that's great. And since this has come up about how should we help people get started, I'd like to mention something that is actually further down in my presentation. Right here at KubeCon, we are trying to help support the challenge of getting started. So we're hosting ContribFest, which is a bunch of open source projects in Cloud Native coming over here and asking for your help. So anybody in the audience, they can go and contribute to a project. And there's going to be folks today, tomorrow, and Friday. I'll share the schedule soon. And maintainers like Yuan and Heba will be there. So you won't be alone, and you can really make a difference.
Yeah, of course. I'm planning
awesome.
to be there.
Yeah, I'll try to be there as well.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Folks, so tell me, how has CNCF been helpful to you in your maintainer journey?
So from my perspective, the psychological safety that the organization provide to us or to provide to me is very important. Having someone to put rules, put standards, so we can follow in the open source. So for example, for now, if I wanted to go and contribute to any open source project, first thing I wanted to see, do they have code of conduct or not? So this is important. This is really important for me. It's like, like having someone back you in the community or, like having someone just, taking care of your well-being. Also, I'd like actually to mention that I really love that CNCF can sponsor students all around the world to come and, come to KubeCon so they can take their first step in their career. This is really cool.
Yeah, that's great. And we really appreciate all the marketing efforts from CNCF to help us promote the project. And for example, helping us organize the ArgoCon last month, which was a huge success. And we also collaborated with other logics on a project commissioned by CNCF to perform security audits and set up continuous fuzzing. And we've identified and fixed a number of issues along the way, and we made sure that we have a process in place to continue monitor and improve the security of the project.
Awesome.
Yeah, so actually, Priyanka, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
So I'd like to know how we can better recognize the contributors and maintainers for all this effort and, having so much dedication from their time to the community.
Absolutely. Heba, it's such an important point you raise. I think contributors, maintainers, they are giving their blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. And they need recognition and reward for what they do. And there's so much we need to do there. But one small thing that I'd like to call out is happening on Friday. We have the Contributor Award.